guys, in a previous video when I had the Kratos 6 3800 kV motor in the Red Cat Gen 8, I was climbing a hill and I stripped out the pin area on the transfer case gear. Well, I've got the steel gears from Red Cat for the Gen 8, for the transmission and the transfer case. And I'm going to put them in and show you how to do it. Take a look. Okay, I've already got started a little bit with it. I got the motor out, which I was running the new 12-turn Trailmaster Sport by Holmes Hobbies. And in order to get this little motor piece out, or this cover where you can put a fan on the motor, you got to pull the shocks off and then get those screws, which are right back there. And they take a 2mm hex wrench to get all that off. I'm not using this because I change motors way too much and it's kind of a pain in the butt. So, but anyway, to get all that loose is a 2mm hex. You take a 1.5mm hex, you pull the cover off. The stock pinion gear uses a 2mm hex wrench, and the motor also has a 2mm hex wrench on the stock bolts right there. So that's where I'm at with the teardown. So I'm going to go ahead and take the battery tray loose, and that's got bolts here, 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 here. I believe there may be another one under here. There's also one in the fender well. So, and those take a 2mm hex wrench as well. So I'm going to start by removing that, and then you'll be able to see the transmission and the transfer case and the drive shaft. With the tray removed, you can see the transfer case, the front drive shaft, rear drive shaft, the center drive shaft. There's your transmission. This is held in with 2 more screws right underneath there. They use a 2mm hex wrench and 4 to hold the transfer case in place. Now, I've already taken these drive shafts off and put them back on a few times. However, you may have an issue with these set screws right here. They use a 1.5mm hex wrench, but Red Cat really likes to use a lot of thread lock, and it sticks pretty bad in some cases. I was lucky that mine came out. But now this also has the BowHouse RC belly. As you can see, it looks quite a bit different than the stock one. It kind of clocks the transfer case and just really gives you some nice clearance. Now there are links in the description for this belly, these gears, this motor, and other stuff related to this truck and even more. So always check the description. We're going to do the transfer case first, and with all this out, the drive shaft's loose. There are my 3 little screws. Using a 2mm hex, you can pull the rest of the bolts out and split the transfer case apart. Stock gears, and yes, I have greasies because I've been in this transfer case a few times now. I can tell you guys for sure, if you break these gears, you have done something really, really wrong. These things are beef. The new gears are in place. You can see a little bit of grease I put on them, so they are ready to go. I have read where the pin in this top shaft right here is a little bit too long on some of them. It wasn't on mine, but you may have to, you know, kind of trim those down, the ends just a little bit to fit yours. I don't know that you'll have to do that or not, but it's what I've read on the Facebook groups. So anyway, I'm going to close this back up and get onto the transmission. To get into the transmission, you got a little more work to do. You got those 3 screws there. You got that one right there. Those 3 right here. Now those all take a 2mm hex, and you're also going to have to pull this nut off, which is your clutch tensioner nut, or to adjust how tight your clutch is. And that uses like a 7mm, you know, the 4-way wrench. That's what goes on that. It is a 7mm hex nut, or, you know, it takes a 7mm hex wrench. With all that loose, you can see the stock gears. They come out. There's your pin, your bearings, and all that stuff. There are your new gears. Again, if you break these, you've done something pretty crazy. And on this one, I've got a little bit of an issue. The pin doesn't really want to fit down in there. It's like the pin is a little bit too large in diameter for the gear, as in the gear slot wasn't cut wide enough. I'm just simply going to try to force it in. Wish me luck. Okay, so I got the pin in, It sits flush. I gave it a few taps with a hammer, and the end of the shaft kind of mushroomed out really too easy. Almost like as if the shaft isn't hardened properly. So Red Cat, you guys need to fix this. As far as the slot in the steel gear, it's going to cause issues. Hopefully they're fixed on the later models and all that. But anyway, I put it into the drill, did a little filing at the end, and got it to work. So I won't be down, but this is an issue with the steel gears. Hopefully Red Cat will get that fixed. New gears are in, and as far as reassembling into the truck, you just simply do everything you just did, only, in reverse order. And it goes right back in. Okay, so let's listen to these new gears. Stock motor, stock pinion, 3S battery, since I run 3S and everything. So not bad. Let's take it outside. So overall, the new gears went in pretty well, except for the pin issue in the transmission, and then finding out that that actual shaft has not been hardened, as it kind of mushroomed really easy. I really didn't have to tap on it hard at all. I mean, really. I didn't have to hammer this thing. So that shaft is a bit soft, in my opinion. They should be hardened from the factory. And that pin should fit in the new gears from the factory. However, the gears are bulletproof. I don't see any issue at all with these things breaking. They are a little bit louder, but not too bad really. I mean, they are Mod 1, so when you're going from a soft, flexible plastic to a hardened steel, the gears are supposed to be hardened steel. Shouldn't be any issues at all with braking. They're going to be a little louder, but overall, the kit went in fairly well. If you put the gears in yours, post up in the comments below and let me know how yours went in, because Red Cat does sometimes watch my videos. So guys, hopefully this helped you out, and thank you all for watching.